Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have a very special review for you. This is the Motionblock kit from Motionblock. So if you're wondering what this is, you can kind of get an idea from the box here. This is like a robotics kit where you can sort of build your own robot, and there's a variety of form factors that you can build and do cool stuff with it. So essentially this thing is all about STEAM education. So STEM education, STEAM, essentially science, technology, the arts, entertainment, all that kind of stuff, mathematics, sort of putting it all together and encouraging kids to learn. And so the cool thing about this kit, so this is from the company Motionblock, and they've done a couple of robotics kits, but Motionblock is a new kit that just released in April of this year. And essentially, it allows you to build these robots here, but you can also do some programming, and that uses a software here that allows for drag and drop coding compatible with tablet, mobile phone, and PC. So you can build things like this robot gorilla, this robotic arm, robotic tank with firing cannons, a bunch of stuff here, which is really, really neat. It retails at about $500. It's available on their website. But if you've seen any types of robotics kits like that, that is a relatively decent price. It'll remain to be seen once I open it up and check it out if it's actually worth it. But yeah, I mean, for what comes in here, I mean, it definitely looks really cool. And it helps kids learn using there's a phone app that you can download and learn you can control the robot with it. You can do some coding with basic graphical programming or Python via the website. There's a web interface. So really, really neat. So here's the box, as you can see. So lots of different things that you can do here. Lots of different form factors for the robots. It's a giant box. I'm going to try and show as much as I can here off to the side. But here are like the tech specs, basically, in case you were wondering. But compatible with, phone, PC, Mac, all that kind of stuff. And then the side of the box shows you all sorts of different things that you get in the package. So there's a swing package module, synchronizer, wheel set, all sorts of different little pieces depending on what you are trying to build. So this kit that I have here allows you to build up at least 10 different types of things. So as an example here, these are some of the things that you can build, which are really, really interesting. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to build to try this thing out, but these are some of the options. And this is what I was saying earlier, where you do have this app where you can basically learn how to code and interact with the robot here. And again here, so there's Motionblock and there's a Motionblock app that lets you control the robot. And these are all the different modules that I was showing you on the side of the box, different things that you can essentially do with the robot. So there's a lot in here, and so I want to do a little bit of an unboxing if I can, try and fit this thing in frame here. Let me grab some scissors and cut this thing open. And we're gonna take a look and see what is inside when you first open this thing up here. So, cut the sticker right there. It's a pretty decently sized kit, so there's lots of pieces in here. So lots of variety, which is cool. All right. A little hard to do with a camera on my face, but we're gonna make it work. All right. Do a little unboxing experience here. So right when you open it up, you have some quick start guides. So there's a user guide for the robotic arm and synchronizer. And what this is you can essentially create a little robotic arm, and there's another tool where you can move this around and then it will control the robotic arm. So that's what that synchronizer piece is. And then there's a quick start guide as well. So with that being said, let me see if I can position this in a way where I can. So there's two boxes. There's a number 1 and a number 2. So we're going for number 1 right now. Slide this thing out. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to do this off camera a little bit. All right, so here's box number 1. Okay. So box number 1, when you open it up, has got all sorts of components as listed in the box there. And when you lift it up, you can see right here all sorts of little pieces. So lots of really, really cool things. So there's like a little suction cup thing, all sorts of stuff here. You got some wheels, depending on what you want to build. Got a full kit available right here, which is really, really cool. All right, so I'm gonna move this to the side because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna try and build just yet. And let's grab box number 2 and see what's inside. All right. Oh, and my whole table thing is like falling apart here because this box is so big. All right, so again, even more pieces in here, as you can see. And when you open it up, inside, again, you see all sorts of other little pieces. So here's like the stuff where you can launch. The ball's right here. There's a little kit here as well. What's in this kit? Oh, the tools and stuff, the screws and everything that you'll need, screwdriver. So you got everything that you're gonna need to get started with the robot. So really, really cool. So now I'm gonna look at the instructions and see what I want to build, and let's check it out. All right, so essentially there's a little quick start guide here. And so this is gonna walk you through some of the basics. And so let's just sort of quickly take a look so you can get an idea of what's included. So it talks about how it includes instructions here for the mechanical arm and synchronizer, which is this right here, which we'll take a look at in just a second. Oh, and this just popped out, warranty information, okay. And then there's instructions on downloading the app. So there's the Motionblock app, and this is gonna have the full details and instructions on everything else that you need. So let's get this little QR code scanned in right here. And then we will take a look at this website. All right, view an app store. Perfect. I could have just searched for it, but you know. So let me download the app here. All right, so I just had to use my Face ID. So while the app is downloading, I'll just show you essentially some of the rest of what's in here. So it talks about how you can use the software to control the robot. And also, what you can actually do is there's an ability to record a sequence of motions that you do without using a phone or computer and then play it later. So that will allow you to sort of save a certain pattern of things that you want to do, which is really cool. So again, and sort of designing these robots to be very flexible in what you want to do. And then there's Mblock, which supports block-based programming and Python. So that's how you can help to learn how to code, and this will connect in with your robot and everything. So this master control block is essentially the brain of the robot. So this is what it's talking about here, where this is what will be used to record motions, connect with the app and everything, and Bluetooth, and you can connect to a computer via USB cable as well. So that master control box is really going to be very important. So there's a battery and everything that does need charging as well. So we're gonna charge that up. And then there's the smart servo here, which is the core driver of the Motionblock. Supports continuous rotations of 360 degrees, and then it talks about how you wire in the different pieces and everything. So with that being said, this is what we're going to check out. So this is what I'm going to start building here: the robotic arm and synchronizer. So the instructions here are very, very nice and very easy, because essentially it walks you through step by step all the pieces and everything that's needed here, as you can see. So it just kind of walks through all of that. So with that being said, let me open up the app right here. Okay. Please select your device. So there's different devices that pop up on here. MBot, MBot Ranger, Starter Ultimate, Ultimate 2.0, and there's the Motionblock right there. So that's what we would like to do. And so again, there's different options here as well. So we'll take a look at this app in a second once everything is done. But let's jump into actually building this robotic arm and check that out. All right, so I got out some of the pieces, at least for the first few steps. There's a lot of little components here. It's actually very nicely labeled. Like when I'm showing opening up the boxes 1 and 2, you want to leave everything in the boxes, because the labels at the top, the diagram, show you what's in which section, and it's very nicely organized, so that made it nice and easy to know what I need. So I got out the things for the first couple of steps. Before I get started though, this is that master control box that I was talking about earlier. So as you can see, this has got your on, off, reset, record, play, all of that stuff here. Different connectors for what you need, micro USB, all of that stuff right there. I'm gonna peel this off at the end so I don't get my fingerprints all over it. And essentially right at the top here, this is where the battery is gonna go in. So for now, I'm going to charge up the battery. So the battery is right here. So this is the battery. This is the charging station. So it sits right in, and then you have micro USB going in right there. So I'm just gonna plug this in right back here. All right, so I got the wire going behind the camera charging. So while we do that, the first step here, in building this robotic arm, is building the rotating block. And so this is the component here, 2 halves, as you can see, and this is the servo. And so as was talked about earlier, this allows for 360-degree rotation. And so the way that this is going to work, they color-coded it very easily. So you have the white connector and the red. So I believe what they were describing is the red is like in and white is out. So the input and output. And so the way that this is going to work, and so I haven't done this yet, so bear with me a little bit here. So I got my instructions here. This is going to essentially sit right in, and you can see there's a little circle there, so I assume that's where it's going to just rest right in there very nicely. And you're just gonna plug it in. As you can see, red should go into red. So let's try and do that here. In fact, let me take this out first and then plug it in. Yep, plugs in very easily. All right, and then the white one. Flip it this way. Perfect. There you go. And it just sort of rests right in there. And then this is going to go over top. I think it goes like this. Or is it this way? No, I think I was doing it right. Yeah. Just like that. And then you just have to keep the wires out of the way so that you can actually be able to screw it in. So that's the other important part here. Like this. Okay, there we go. So it connects in, and this is where we're now going to start screwing things in. So again, here it's telling me I need to use 6 of the M 2.5x5. So when you open up the kit right here, it's all labeled right here. So we have the 2.5x5 right at the bottom here. Very nice and handy. So let's take out 6. One more. Okay. Okay, and we're going to be using this a lot, so let's just get this thing open. All right. And so, you know, again, pretty simply, you're just kind of plugging and playing. Okay, so as you can see, that's essentially what you're going to be doing. So let me jump ahead after screwing these in, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so for the record, pay attention to the instructions because the next step was screwing in this little tile piece, and I was doing it on the opposite side, but the screws were sticking out a lot and it was taking a while to screw it in. I was getting tired. And I look at the instructions and it's supposed to be on the circle side right there, and then they went in much more easily. So you shouldn't have to struggle with this. Don't be dumb like me. So I got this complete, so this is the rotating block. It is now done. So the next step is building these swinging wrapping blocks, and there's 3 of these basically. So let's get started with these steps here. So I'm gonna move this to the side, but essentially we're gonna be taking these servos again, and they have these little adapters that are gonna go onto the sides here. And so the way that this is supposed to work, according to the picture, is, if I'm doing this properly, let me make sure everything looks good. Yep. And okay, so this is just gonna slide right in apparently, just like that. Okay, perfect. And then on the opposite side here, again, this is gonna click in. Okay, so that is in, and it's gonna go up like that. Okay, so that's how that's gonna go. And then we have these little containers here, basically, and so this servo is going to go inside of there. So, opening this up, like so, and inside, you're going to slide this in such that these little pieces are right in those little slots there. Nice and snug. There you go. And now we're going to take this back piece and it's going to go right in, and we are going to screw this in. So, while I do that, let me just walk you through some of the next steps. So once I screw this in, we take this piece right here, which is going to attach onto the side. So we have that. Then we have this little piece that's going to attach on as well. We're going to screw all those things in, and then there are these covers that are going to go on those pieces too. So let me jump ahead to the completed product. All right, so we've built the swinging wrapping block. So there's 3 of them. So like I was saying, there was this outer cover, then this over piece right here, and then we attach these side things here. And so essentially, you can kind of hear it a little bit. So once it's all connected, you know, these are motors and stuff, which is pretty cool. So you can also see the input and output sides as well, because the servo is inside of this. So I built 3 of them. So I just kind of did the same process for all 3. So I got all 3 pieces right there. So the next piece is now getting to the robotic claw. And I will say so far, it's actually really fun to put together. Definitely pretty cool, and I'm excited to see this finished product. But this piece right here is supposed to open up, and there's also this piece and another servo. And so the way that this is supposed to work is it looks like this is going to go onto here, and we're going to screw this on. Okay, so I'll handle that off camera, so you don't have to sit here and wait for me to do that. And then I believe this is supposed to just kind of sit in here in some way. Let's see if I can figure this out. I think I might have to take these pieces out first. And so essentially, this is going to slide in right there. And so it's going to allow it to move around. So we're able to connect these pieces all together. And so let me get things screwed in and do that. All right, so we have finished the claw. Ooh. So now it's time to put all this stuff together into the robotic arm. But for that, we're gonna need a couple of other pieces. So we need these little suction cups right here, and then also these little adapters. I think they're called the dovetail slot adapters. So we're gonna need those. It's also gonna require a little bit of screws and stuff, but I'm gonna walk you through this whole process here because we're putting everything together and seeing how this arm looks. So with that being said, I have this little piece that we built earlier, right? And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this adapter here, and now the question is, which side is which? I think we're going on the white side here, and so this little adapter is supposed to just slide in. Does it matter which way? I think they both look the same, so it just sort of slides down just like that. Okay, I guess that's it. And then we're going to take another one. Okay, so I guess we're doing that. And another one here. Okay, so I think that looks right. I guess we'll find out as we go. Now that's how we're going to connect these little suction pieces here. So essentially, this is actually kind of a smart way of doing it. So these little adapters serve as the connecting point. So they both ends just kind of slide right in. It's actually really cool. Very nice and easy. And there you go. That's really cool. I'm going to leave the little plastic on the bottom of the suction cup for now. But yeah, that's really sweet. So then the way that I guess it's going to lock into place is we are going to use some of these screws now. So we need the 2.5 by 10, and so we need some of these. All right, so we're going to grab 3 for now. 1, 2, 3. And so these essentially are going to slide into where you see the various holes. Now, the one thing that I'm already noticing, I don't know if it matters, it might, so I'm gonna sort of redo this, is it seems like these pieces should be alternating like this, so the hole should be on the opposite side here, at least going from the diagram. Okay, so let's sort of redo that. Same with this one, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I don't know if it matters, it probably doesn't, but I'm following the instructions to the T. And so what I mean by that is you'll see the screws are alternating like that. So, meaning here, this one's going in this side. And so that's how it will hold these things into place. Again, pretty smart design here. And then on this side here, okay, and last one on this side here. Very easy to connect. And, okay, is that in? I think so. Nope, it's not. I was like, it doesn't feel like it's tightening. It must not have clicked in all the way. Why is this one not? This one? Oh, you know why? Because this connector is not in all the way. now, there we go. This thing was kind of sliding downwards a little bit. So now it's tight because the connector's in place. Okay. So then we need another one of these adapters here. And essentially this is going to slide right up top here. Okay. And then now we are actually going to move towards adding one of these pieces, which was called the swinging wrapping block. So we're going to add one of these, and the picture notes that we want the red side facing outwards like this, it seems. So that's good to know. Oh, that just slid right off. So let's just make sure that's on tight. Okay. And then we're going to use the same screw again. And make sure that this is nice and tight. So you're going to notice a pattern here, basically, where we're just kind of attaching these pieces one by one with these mini little attachments here. So another adapter. Make sure that this is still facing the right way. Okay, so this is going to slide up there. Now it looks like we're going to have the white one facing outwards. Okay. What I'm imagining is we're going to be sort of daisy chaining this with the input and output. I can already kind of see that happening here. So very smart design. All right. This thing looks pretty cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this turns out. All right. Then we're going to be adding in one more piece here. And the next one. And again, we're going with the opposite. Although, see, this is where it kind of confuses me a little bit, because the picture, right up until here, had red and then white, right? Now here, it almost looks like is that red still, but another red and then white? But that's not right. So now I'm kind of confused. I'm just going to do the opposite. I'm assuming it needs to be the opposite. So that's what I'm going to go off of. And looking ahead at the later pictures, I think I'm right. It's just the picture was a little confusing there, but you get the idea. All right, did it go in? Yes. Okay. So with that, we actually are going to attach another piece right here. So this is becoming a little hard to show on the camera. I'm gonna tilt this downwards a little bit just so you can see, but it looks like this is going in right up top there. And now we're actually going to attach the robotic claw. All right, and this is where, again, the red and white opposite comes into play. So we have red here, so white's gonna go here, and the picture does match up now. And we're gonna put another screw in here as well. This is actually pretty large. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. You can really come up with some crazy robots and stuff with this. That's awesome. All right, so there you go. So pretty decently sized there, which is pretty cool. And so now it's a matter of attaching the master control box now. So that is going to be the next piece here. And so the way that this is going to work is this is actually going to attach right into the front here. But you're going to want to start attaching with some of those servo cables. So one of the other things that you get in the box is these cables here. And I want to make sure that I have the right one, because there's different sizes here. So you have, looks like this 150 centimeter one, which we don't need right now. Okay. Then, let's see. We should have 10 centimeters which are, oh, actually, perfect. So it's actually kind of labeled too, which is great. So it's actually labeled. So that's exactly what we need. So we need the 20 and the 20. Actually, we need all of them. So, okay. Well, they're all labeled, so it doesn't matter. So first off, we need the 20 centimeter one, which is this one, 200 millimeters. You can do conversions, guys. So let's get this thing open. Let's just cut this piece open just to make it easy. Okay, perfect. So we're going to use one of these connectors to plug in here. And so the way that this is going to work is we have the red connector right there. And so the red one is going to go into C right here, it looks like. And this will slide in right there. I believe. Something like that. We'll see if I'm doing it right. But let me try and get all these things connected, and then we're gonna double check this. All right, so I believe I have the final thing assembled. So one thing that I actually think I misaligned these. I had these ones slightly shifted over one. So essentially it should be the red one that was above the thing here. I don't know how much it really matters necessarily, but I'm doing it just in case. So looking at this, I haven't turned this on, done much with it, but theoretically, I think it makes sense because the white is the output and the red is the input. So you have the control box out into here, right? And then you have out into here, out into here, out into here, out into all the way up to the top. So it just kind of alternates going all the way to the top. So theoretically, this entire thing should be controlled. Now, before we get started with this, I'm actually going to assemble the next piece here. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm not going to do it in the video because this video is already long enough, but I'm going to build the synchronizer. And so you can use the synchronizer to control the robot. So I'm going to build this, and then we're going to jump ahead and test this out and see how it goes. All right, so I have the synchronizer complete. Very similar setup, except you have these sort of longer pieces and then these small little circles that would connect. So just one by one, you're screwing them in one by one, building this whole thing, and then taking the wires and plugging all those in. So very similar setup, and then right at the top you have this thing. Not quite sure what all this is for right at the top here, but you know, I guess we'll find out. So again, the goal is that you're supposed to be moving this, and it's supposed to theoretically move the arm. So I haven't tested this yet. I don't know if I did this properly or what I'm doing, but we're gonna try this out. So let's see what happens. So I think I need to put this battery in here first. I think that's an important piece of this. Hopefully it's charged up enough. So let's just slide this in. All right, we're gonna close this up here. Make sure this is in properly. Maybe. There we go. Okay. This is supposed to slide in here, and I guess this connects here. So one of the instructions things mentioned you want to zero out the arm and make sure that it's nice and straight and exactly what you need. So it said you power this on. So I'm gonna power this on for the first time here. All right, so there's a green light on the side here. And it says long press the reset button for 3 seconds to set the zero position. All right, something just squiggled on the screen. I don't know if you can see it or not. So I think it's done. So now we're supposed to be able to connect this synchronizer thing to this. And so from my understanding, it seemed like we take this wire and plug it in here, maybe? I don't know. Oh, it lit up. Okay. Now, how does this work? I actually think I think that's wrong, because I was like, how is this supposed to connect into here? I think I'm missing a piece here. I think there's got to be another cable that plugs in to get this connection. So we're trying this out live here. We're doing this on the fly to see what happens. So I don't know if it needs to be in C or D or whatever, but... Oh, it lit up. Oh, oh snap! Look! Wait. Are you guys seeing this? Oh no, the wire came unplugged at the top. Oh no. Okay, let's see. This wire is kind of short. I'm gonna put a different one in here. When I set this up, it said to use a 10 centimeter one, but it did seem kind of small, so I'm gonna plug in a different one up top here. All right. Let's see. And plug this in here. Okay. So, oh, is it am I facing the wrong way? Okay. No, that's not right. Something's not right here. But it's moving in some fashion. So the question now, there's an X here. So there's something I didn't set up right. So I need to do some troubleshooting to figure out exactly what's going on here. But we're making progress. We're making progress, right? So that's the fun thing about robotics, is you can really mess around with it and make sure that what you got is connected properly. So here's the deal. Apparently I did have it connected properly, but what's going to be important is making sure that this is also straight while this is straight when you turn it on. So that way it has a default position for the synchronizer. So look, when I turn it on here, all right, this thing's going to light up blue, and now look what happens. That's so cool. Oh, and then it just stopped. So something happened there. So it was working for a moment, and then something, I don't know what it was, but that's, you know, it's going to require a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of figuring out what's going on. Maybe one of the wires is being tugged on or something, which made it sort of lose the signal. So you see it's got the red or the blue X mark there. So something went wrong, but for a moment it was working. So I turned it off, turned it on again, right? So, oh, that thing just fell over. So it's working right now though, you see? And so here's what's cool about this also. Oh, it just fell over. I think part of it is also the weight of this thing. So again, you got to really play around with it and figure out, you know, different ways of using robotics. The synchronizer is just one way to play with this and test it out. But of course you can control it in different ways too. So there's one other thing I want to show you. So I'm going to try and turn this on long enough to demonstrate here. Okay. So if I can bring the claw down. So this part right here, what this does is it opens and closes the claw. So if you can see the claw at the end there. And then it just stopped. So, you know, I got to play around with why the connection is getting turned off there. But at least initially, it's kind of cool what you can do with this thing. So I'm definitely excited to play around with this some more. All right, so now we're going to try with the app. And so in order to connect with Bluetooth, you just turn on this little box here and then put your phone near it with the app open. You click on, I did the robotic arm, and I had to click through all the steps to show that I built it. Now it says 0 correction. You want to take this, this thing here to calibrate. So I'm going to hit calibrate. Congratulations, robotic arm is built successfully. Get moving. So now, looks like you have this sort of position here. And so you can control different things. So let's play around with this. So it looks like you can tilt right here. It can move up and down like that. All right. And then what does this one do? So this moves it up and down, and this moves the claw part up and down. So let's face towards the camera a little. And okay, so that moves this up and down. All right. What does this one do again? Oh, that moves it. Okay. Interesting. And then can I move it forward towards the camera? Oh, it's coming at us. And it's gonna grab like that. That's so cool. So you can really mess with stuff like that. So let's see if I'm able to pick something up potentially. I don't know what I have for him to grab. Let's have him grab All right, I'm just gonna throw something over here. This Ultron figure that was just nearby. All right, so let's see. Ultron versus the robotic arm. Theoretically, Ultron would be controlling the robotic arm, but all right, let's see if I can figure out the controls here. Make it, okay, go down a little, yeah. And move forward. Oh, okay. And close. No, I kind of knocked him over a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. All right, we're gonna try again. Let's open up. I think it needs to move forward a little bit more. I don't think it can reach as much. All right, let's try this again. Let's move him a little closer so that it has enough reach. Move this forward. Oh, he just knocked him over. The problem is I need something that's a little more sturdy. All right, I'm gonna hold down his feet because that's not fair otherwise. Move it forward and close. Close on the head maybe, is that gonna work? Are you gonna be able to lift him up? Lift up. It's trying. All right, well, you get the idea. Probably not the best item because you can't really grab it that well. Actually, let me do it like this. If I have his arms open, okay. So we're playing around with this a little bit. Okay, how does this move down? No, that's not what we want. We want this to go. Okay, that's as much down as it's gonna go. Darn. Okay, well, I guess that's. Oh, there we go. Ah, that's what I wanted. I wanted the angle of this to be adjusted a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I wasn't holding his feet down, as I said I would, so my apologies there. All right, let's see. And move it close forward. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I have to learn how to control this thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay. And lift him up. Oh no, Ultron knocked over the arm. But you get the idea. Like, that's actually pretty cool. So I can have him carry Ultron around like that. There we go. He's got Ultron. So again, really, you can kind of play around with this. And the other part too is I don't have the suction thing open. So that's why this thing normally wouldn't fall over. If you set the suction up, it'll be there pretty nice and tight. So that's actually really cool. This is really awesome. I'm excited about this. And again, this is just one of many other types of things that you can build. I mean, you can build a little gorilla thing. You can build like almost like a little snake. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. And so the instructions came with the robotic arm on paper. Oh, and he's lifted up Ultron into the air as he went back to the default state. But as you can see, you can have all sorts of creations you can do. And the app provides instructions on how to build all of these. Like some of these, these are exciting. I actually am really excited to play around with some of these and build these. The nice thing is I think some of these components are already sort of assembled in little segments, and you're just going to be able to mix and match some of these pieces together. So the build isn't going to be as intensive for the next thing because some of these components, the individual pieces, are already assembled. So yeah, that is the Motionblock kit from MakeBlock. Again, this is really meant to, help with education and help further your imagination. You can build the types of robots you want. You can use programming to build this thing to do its own commands, and maybe you want it to turn first and then move the lever forward and then open the claw. Whatever you want to do, you can program all that stuff together and come up with some really cool things. So I think this kit actually has some great potential. And the one thing about this that stood out to me as well is the look and feel, the build quality of it all. It's nice and easy to do, but it feels pretty sturdy. Like, this doesn't feel like some cheap thing that you're gonna do. For $500 for this kit, seems pricey, but if you look up online the price of these types of robotics kits for Steam Learning, it's not too bad, especially considering all the components that you get and all the functionality that's available. There's a lot that you can do with this. So I definitely think it's worth investigating if you're into this kind of thing. I love these kinds of robots. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not super creative in it, but I'm already having just a blast building these standard ones right here and messing around with them. So even just having fun with the app and remote controlling them is really cool. So yeah, that is the Motionblock kit right here, as you can see. you can have something to carry around your Ultron with if you need it. So there you go. All right, let's lower Ultron down to the ground. Can we do that? Can we do that, buddy? Is that possible? All right, let's see what we can do. Oh, he's not. I don't have him held to the ground properly, so it's going to be a little difficult here. All right, and perfect. And let's see. No, let's do a little this way. Ultron's kind of falling over. I was trying to get him to stand up properly. All right, stand, Ultron. Is that cheating? Maybe. And all right, whatever. Close enough. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this look at the Motionblock kit. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought as well. And huge thank you to MakeBlock for sending me this robotics kit. So I just want to mention again that they sent this for review. So huge thank you to them for that. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want more details on this and to their website as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you later.